Hi, Bulldogs. This is Miss Fowler. I'm going to book talk a book called Knights versus Dinosaurs by Matt Fellon. And this is a heavily illustrated book. So it is all black and white, but it has drawings on almost every page. So that's kind of neat. Um, it is about a knight named Sir Eric who exaggerates a lot. He exaggerates and says that he slayed 40 dragons on his last quest. So Merlin decides to send him on an even more difficult quest to tame and slay the most difficult lizards of all, dinosaurs. So this is about knights heading out on a mission with dinosaurs. It's kind of a funny book too. So I'm going to read you the first little bit of Knights versus Dinosaurs by Matt Fellon. Chapter 1, A Slight Exaggeration. When Sir Eric thought the whole thing over, he supposed that he shouldn't have said he'd slain 40 dragons. 4 might have been more realistic. He also shouldn't have boasted in front of Merlin, the one person in court smart enough to know that fierce dragons were more or less a flagon of hooey. Now was not the time for reflection, however. A giant rampaging lizard had just tossed Sir Bors into a tree and was bearing down on poor Sir Hector. Lance time, thought Sir Eric, but perhaps it would be best to start at the beginning. The banquet dragged on and on. Tales had been told, fruit had been juggled, songs had been sung, oh, so many songs. But the worst of it was the sharing time. Each knight who had stumbled back into Camelot over the past few days now stood in front of King Arthur with a report of his adventures. Sir Eric thought it might never end. Lancelot, naturally, had performed the bravest deeds. Galahad the most noble. The rest scrambled for attention with various feats of daring do, most of which were exaggerated to say the least. The knights all shared a deep secret. With the realm at peace, the knights spent a good deal of their time off in a field somewhere fighting one another, not to slay, just for the sheer fun of it. They had armor and weapons, after all. It was a shame not to use them. Dragons, giants, trolls, and mythical beasts were in short supply. All knights believed in them, without question, of course, but the pesky creatures couldn't exactly be counted on to make an appearance, ever. So the knights embellished one tale after another of battles with beasties, run-in with rogue trolls, and fights with fierce giants. Eric sighed. He was tired. His tunic was slightly scratchy, whatever the reason. When it was his turn to share, out came a loud, clear voice, a whopping big embellishment to shame the rest. Did you say 40 dragons? Asked Merlin with an air of polite interest. Yes, declared Sir Eric. The round table exploded with excitement. Knights spouted support or disbelief or a combination of both. All but the Black Knight. If you needed a tall, dangerously silent type, he was your man. No one had ever heard a peep from the Black Knight. Tonight, as always, he stood in a dark corner in full armor. He stayed rigid, staring at Eric through his visor and helm. So that's the beginning of Knights versus Dinosaurs by Matt Fellon. If it sounds like something you would like, you can put it on hold in Destiny, and we will deliver it to your homeroom teacher. Thanks for watching.